The massive warship of the Krex Empire hung above Earth like a metal storm cloud. Commander Vox stood on his bridge, his forearms crossed in confidence. He had conquered 17 worlds. Earth would be the 18th. "Fire the warning shot," Vox commanded. The plasma beam carved through New York's skyline, turning 3 blocks into molten glass. "Let them know resistance means death." In the Galaxy Council chambers, 300 light-years away, Ambassador Cora of the peaceful Altari race watched the live feed in horror. "The humans are a young species," she pleaded to the Council. "They only achieved faster-than-light travel 2 years ago. This is murder." The Council chairman, an ancient being named Zeph, shook his crystalline head. "The law is clear. We cannot interfere in territorial disputes. The Krex filed their claim properly." "But Earth didn't even know about the claims process," Cora protested. "Ignorance is not our concern," Zeph replied coldly. Back on Earth, the United Nations Emergency Assembly gathered in an underground bunker. General Tom stood before the world leaders, his face grim but determined. "They think we're primitive because we're new to space," he said. "They don't know about our history, about what humans do when cornered." President Lisa nodded slowly. "How long do we have?" "The Krex gave us 72 hours to surrender," Tom replied. "They want our water, our minerals, and us as slaves. Then we have 72 hours to remind the galaxy why humans survived on a death world for 200,000 years, Lisa said, her voice steel. The Krex Commander Vox laughed when Earth's response came. Instead of surrender, it was a single, "No, foolish primates," Vox sneered. "Begin the invasion. Send down the shock troops." 5,000 Krex warriors descended in drop pods, landing in major cities across Earth. They expected screaming civilians. They expected chaos. They expected easy victory. They did not expect Old Man Rick in Texas to greet them with a shotgun and a grin. "Welcome to Earth, boys. Hope you brought your own body bags." The first Krex warrior laughed at the primitive weapon. He stopped laughing when the depleted uranium shells tore through his supposedly invincible armor. Rick had spent the last 48 hours in his garage, improving his hunting ammunition. In Tokyo, a group of office workers had turned their building into a trap. When Krex soldiers entered, they found themselves facing improvised flamethrowers, made from cleaning supplies and kitchen equipment. The building's IT manager, David, had spent all night researching Krex biology from hacked alien networks. "They breathe methane," he told his coworkers. "Earth's oxygen is already making them. Slow fire will stop them completely." In Moscow, the Krex met something worse than resistance. They met Russian winter and Russians who had turned the city into a frozen fortress. Every building was a bunker. Every citizen was armed. Every street was a killing field. Commander Vox watched his easy invasion turn into a nightmare. His shock troops weren't reporting back. The few distress signals he received were terrifying. "They're everywhere," one soldier screamed. "They don't stop coming. They turn their vehicles into bombs. Their children are throwing acid at us." "Impossible," Vox muttered. "They're a level 1 civilization, barely space-capable." His science officer pulled up Earth's history. "Sir, you need to see this. These humans, they've been killing each other with increasingly creative methods for millennia. They've survived ice ages, plagues, natural disasters, and nuclear war. They weaponized atoms just to end a war faster. They have a saying, 'Humans are space orcs.'" "What's an orc?" Vox asked. "A mythical creature from their fiction. Brutal, unstoppable, and impossible to kill," the officer replied, his voice shaking. "Sir, they think of themselves as the monsters of their own stories." In the Galaxy Council, Ambassador Cora watched the battle feeds with a mixture of horror and awe. The Krex Empire, conqueror of 17 worlds, was being torn apart by a species that had only discovered antimatter drives 2 years ago. "Perhaps," she said quietly to Chairman Zeph, "we should update our classification system. The humans aren't a level 1 civilization. They're something else entirely. Something we've never seen before." Within 24 hours of the failed invasion, Earth's response shocked the galaxy. Instead of celebrating their defensive victory, Humans did something unprecedented. They went on the offensive. In underground bunkers across Earth, scientists and engineers worked without sleep. Dr. James, formerly a theoretical physicist at MIT, led a team that had cracked the Krex shield frequency. Their technology is advanced, he explained to the Military Council via video link, but it's also stagnant. They've been using the same tech for 3,000 years without innovation. We've revolutionized our warfare 6 times in the last century alone. General Tom studied the captured Krex equipment. So you're saying their ships are vulnerable to something they'd never expect from a primitive species? James finished. Nuclear warheads wrapped in a shell of our newly developed antimatter containment fields. We call them can openers. The first human counterstrike came exactly 36 hours after the invasion began. Nobody expected Earth to have a space fleet. They'd only joined the galactic community 2 years ago. But humans had a secret. They'd been preparing for alien contact, hostile or otherwise, since the day they discovered they weren't alone. The spacecraft that emerged from hidden moon bases weren't pretty. They looked like flying junkyards, old nuclear submarines welded to cargo containers, covered in armor plating made from compressed asteroid minerals. But they worked. Captain Mike commanded humanity's flagship, ironically named Diplomatic Solution. It was a refitted nuclear submarine with strapped-on fusion drives and a spine of mass drivers that could launch anything from nuclear warheads to bags of ball bearings at relativistic speeds. "All ships, this is Admiral Johnson," came the voice over comms. "Remember, we're not trying to win a fair fight, we're trying to survive. Hit them hard, hit them fast, and hit them where it hurts." The Krex fleet detected the approaching human ships and laughed. Commander Vox ordered his officers to broadcast the moment across the galaxy. "Watch as these primitives throw their scrap metal at our glorious fleet." The laughter stopped when the first can opener hit. The nuclear antimatter hybrid weapon ignored the Krex shields entirely, treating the advanced technology like it wasn't there. The explosion tore through the battleship's hull, venting atmosphere and Krex soldiers into space. But humans weren't done with just advanced weapons. They brought something else: psychological warfare. Every human ship broadcast the same message, on all frequencies in perfect Krex language. "You attacked our home. You threatened our children. There is nowhere in this galaxy you can run where we won't find you." Then they started broadcasting Earth's music, specifically death metal and war drums. The psychological impact on the Krex forces was immediate. These weren't scared primitives begging for mercy. These were predators who had been pretending to be prey. In the Galaxy Council, chaos erupted. "This is impossible," shouted the Dominion representative. "Humans are listed as a Level 1 civilization. They shouldn't have antimatter weapons." Ambassador Cora pulled up humanity's file. Actually, they invented antimatter containment 6 months ago. They just didn't tell anyone. "Why not?" Chairman Zeff demanded. "Look at their history," Cora replied, projecting Earth's wars onto the screen. "They have a concept called mutually assured destruction. They invented weapons so terrible that they stopped using them on each other. They've been holding back." "Holding back?" Zeff's voice cracked. "You mean they could have had these weapons earlier? They've had the theoretical knowledge for decades. They just chose not to build them," Cora explained. "Until someone gave them a reason." Back in the battle, Captain Mike's ship performed something the Krex called impossible: a faster-than-light jump inside a gravity well. The human ship appeared, directly behind the Krex command vessel. "That's not possible," Vox screamed. "FTL jumps near planets cause spatial tears." His science officer was pale. "They're not using standard FTL. They've modified it somehow. They're using the spatial instability as a weapon." The human ship fired its mass drivers, launching simple iron rods at near-light speed. The kinetic weapons punched through, the Krex ship like bullets through paper. Commander Vox's last transmission to the Krex Empire was picked up by every receiver in the galaxy. "Don't come to Earth. They're not prey. They're the apex predators. They just learned how to leave their hunting ground." The human fleet didn't stop at defense. They pursued the retreating Krex forces, broadcasting a message to the galaxy. Earth is under new management, our own. Anyone else want to test us? The footage spread across the galactic network like wildfire. Every species, from the ancient ethereals to the newly spacefaring Novans, watched humanity's transformation from victim to victor in less than 48 hours. In the council chambers, representatives from 57 species gathered for an emergency session. The usual formal procedures were abandoned as panic gripped the assembly. They destroyed a Krex battle fleet. The Skorax delegates' tentacles writhed in distress. The Krex have the third strongest military in the galaxy. Had, Ambassador Cora corrected quietly. Past tense. Chairman Zeph called for order, his crystalline form pulsing with anxiety. The humans have requested to address the council. They're already here. The massive doors opened, and Admiral Johnson walked in, accompanied by Dr. James and a young woman introduced as Anna, Earth's newly appointed Galactic Relations Director. They wore simple black uniforms with Earth's flag, a blue and green sphere on a white background. Anna spoke first, her voice calm and clear. Distinguished members of the Galaxy Council, Earth comes with a simple message. We wanted peace. We asked for peace. The Krex denied us peace. She paused, looking at each representative. So we gave them war, human-style war. You violated 17 galactic conventions. The Krex representative, Vox's brother, Commander Drex, shouted. Using antimatter in planetary space FTL jumps, in gravity wells, weaponizing spatial tiers. Conventions Earth never signed, Anna interrupted. Rules made without our input. Laws you didn't bother explaining when we asked to join your community peacefully 2 years ago. Dr. James stepped forward, pulling up a holographic display. We've been monitoring your communications. Many of you are asking how a level 1 civilization could do this. The answer is simple. Your classification system is flawed. The display showed Earth's technological timeline. You measure advancement by when a species achieves FTL travel. But look at our history. We split the atom in 1945. We went to our moon with computers less powerful than what our children play games on now. We mapped our genome. We created artificial intelligence. We did all this before we ever left our solar system. You judge civilization by spaceflight, Admiral Johnson added. We judge it by innovation. While you've been using the same technology for millennia, we revolutionize ours every decade. Your ships are faster. Ours adapt. The Altari representative spoke up. What do you want from us? Anna smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Recognition. Earth is to be reclassified as a Level 5 civilization immediately. Level 5? Zeph sputtered. That's reserved for species with over 1,000 years of spaceflight. Or, Anna said, species capable of defending themselves against anyone in this room. We've proven that. Unless someone else wants to test us? Silence filled the chamber. We also want the Krex Empire to pay reparations, Anna continued. 100 billion galactic credits for the damage to our cities. And Commander Drex here will personally deliver a formal apology to Earth's people. Drex stood up, his forearms shaking with rage. The Krex Empire does not apologize to primitives. Admiral Johnson laughed. Primitives? Your brother thought the same thing. Want to know what happened to his flagship's computer core? Our 13-year-olds are taking it apart for a school science project. Your advanced technology is our children's homework. This is outrageous, the Dominion representative interjected. You can't just demand. We're not demanding, Anna said softly. We're offering you a choice. Accept Earth as an equal partner in this galaxy, or... She pulled up another display showing Earth's moon. Would you like to know what we've been building inside our moon for the last 18 months? The image zoomed in, showing massive construction bays containing hundreds of ships, each one larger and more advanced than the diplomatic solution. That's our peaceful exploration fleet, Anna explained. Built for science and discovery. But here's the thing about human engineering. Our exploration vessels are just warships with the guns removed, and they're very easy to put back. Ambassador Cora stood slowly. The Altari support Earth's reclassification to Level 5. One by one, other species voiced their agreement. The vote was unanimous. Even Drex reluctantly agreed, his Empire's forces too damaged to protest. As the humans left the chamber, Anna turned back. "Oh, one more thing. We're opening Earth for tourism next month. Come visit, try our coffee, just knock first this time." 3 days after the council meeting, Commander Drex's diplomatic ship approached Earth. The journey that should have filled him with conquest glory instead carried the weight of humiliation. The mighty Krex Empire, conqueror of 17 worlds, was about to apologize to a species that had barely left their own solar system. Earth's traffic control directed them to land at the United Nations Plaza in New York, right where the first plasma beam had struck. Drex expected to see ruins. Instead, he found something that shook him to his core. The damage was already repaired. In 3 days, humans had not only rebuilt but improved the destroyed buildings. "How?" Drex asked his aide. "They call it disaster recovery," the aide replied, reading from his research. "Apparently they're used to rebuilding. Natural disasters, wars, accidents, destruction is so common on Earth that they've made recovery an art form." A crowd of thousands had gathered. Drex expected anger, calls for revenge. Instead, he saw something worse: curiosity. Humans were taking photos, selling merchandise with his picture on it, and children were wearing "I survived the alien invasion" t-shirts. They weren't traumatized, they were commercializing it. President Lisa stood at the podium, flanked by General Tom and Anna. "Commander Drex of the Krex Empire has something to say to Earth's people." Drex approached the microphone, his prepared speech forgotten as he looked at the crowd. A small human child, no more than 6 years old, stood in the front row wearing a costume that looked like a Krex warrior. The child waved at him cheerfully. "People of Earth," Drex began, his voice shaking. "The Krex Empire apologizes for our unprovoked attack on your world. We were wrong to assume you were weak. We were wrong to threaten your people. He paused, the words physically painful. "We ask for your forgiveness." The crowd was silent for a moment. Then someone started clapping. Slowly, uncertainly, but it spread. They were applauding his apology. President Lisa took the microphone. "Earth accepts your apology, Commander. We believe in second chances, but let me be clear, there won't be a third chance." After the ceremony, Drex was given something no conquering Krex had ever received: a tour of Earth's defenses. General Tom personally showed him around. "This is our orbital defense platform," Tom explained, showing a hologram. "We call it the Bug Zapper. Any uninvited ship entering Earth's space gets hit with directed EMP pulses that we reverse-engineered from your own technology." "In 3 days?" Drex couldn't hide his amazement. 3 days to build it. "We designed it in 3 hours, Tom said casually. "Your attack was actually helpful. We learned more about galactic technology from your failed invasion than from 2 years of peaceful contact." They visited a military base where human soldiers were training with captured Krex equipment. Within days, they'd not only learned to use it, but had started improving it. "Your plasma rifles are efficient," a young soldier named Alex explained to Drex, "but they overheat after 40 shots. We added a simple cooling system using Earth's abundant water. Now they can fire indefinitely." "That's impossible," Drex protested. "Our scientists worked on that problem for centuries." Alex shrugged. "Maybe you overthought it. Sometimes the simple solution is the best one." The tour continued to a school where children were studying galactic languages. In 3 days, 12-year-olds were already conversing in basic Krex. "How are they learning so fast?" Drex asked the teacher. "Oh, we gamified it," she replied cheerfully. "Turned it into a competitive video game. Kids will learn anything if you make it fun and add a leaderboard." That evening, Drex was invited to dinner with President Lisa and her cabinet. They served him Earth food, pizza specifically. "This is what your soldiers interrupted," Lisa said, gesturing to the meal. "Friday night pizza. You attacked Earth on pizza night. Do you have any idea how angry that made people?" Drex tasted the food cautiously. The combination of flavors was unlike anything in Krex cuisine. "This is Actually pleasant. We're opening a pizzeria on your homeworld next month, Anna mentioned casually. Part of our cultural exchange program. We've already had 3 million pre-orders from Krek citizens who watched the conflict on the Galactic Network. Drex nearly choked. My people are ordering food from the species we just tried to conquer? Turns out, Anna smiled, conquest is temporary. Pizza is forever. 6 months after the failed invasion, the galaxy had changed in ways no one could have predicted. Earth hadn't conquered anyone, hadn't claimed new territories, hadn't demanded submission. They'd done something far more devastating to the established order. They'd made everyone else look obsolete. The Galaxy Council convened for its quarterly session, but the chamber looked different. Human advisors stood beside nearly every delegation, not as conquerors, but as consultants, teachers, and partners. Chairman Zeph called the meeting to order, noting the irony that the schedule had been optimized by a human algorithm that reduced meeting time by 60% while increasing productivity. First order of business, Zeph announced. The Skorax Federation is requesting human assistance with their failing atmospheric processors. Ambassador Cora watched as Anna stood to respond. The young human had become the most influential diplomat in the galaxy without firing a single shot. Earth's environmental restoration teams can be there in 3 days, Anna said. But we have a condition. The Skorax need to share their bioregeneration technology with the Novans. Cooperation, not isolation, is how we all grow stronger. The Skorax representative agreed immediately. 6 months ago, they would have guarded their technology, jealously. Now human concepts like open source and mutual benefit were reshaping galactic philosophy. Next item, Zeph continued. The Krex Empire is requesting human military advisors. Commander Drex stood, his bearing completely different from 6 months ago. Our military doctrine hasn't evolved in 3 millennia. After seeing human warfare, we realize we've been fighting with outdated rules. We want to learn. General Tom nodded. We'll send advisors, but they'll teach defense, not conquest. The galaxy has enough conquerors, it needs protectors. The session continued with dozens of species requesting human assistance, medical technology, education systems, entertainment networks. Humans were revolutionizing everything they touched. But the real shock came from the ethereals, the galaxy's most ancient and advanced species. Their representative, a being of pure energy named Lux, materialized before the council. The ethereals have observed humanity carefully. We've existed for 50,000 years, watched civilizations rise and fall. We've never seen anything like Earth. The chamber fell silent. The ethereals rarely spoke at council meetings. Every species in this galaxy followed the same path. Lux continued. Develop technology, achieve spaceflight, expand territory, stagnate, but humans, you fought each other for millennia, developing new ways to survive, to adapt, to overcome. Your wars made you creative. Your disasters made you resilient. Your isolation made you innovative. Lux turned to Anna. We wish to learn from you. The galaxy's most advanced species wanted to learn from its newest members. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. Outside the council chambers, Earth's influence was even more visible. Human restaurants had opened on every major world, serving everything from sushi to hamburgers. Earth music played in alien nightclubs. Human sports leagues had gone intergalactic. Apparently, everyone loved football once they understood it. But the biggest change was in the younger generations. Alien children played human video games, watched Earth movies, and dreamed of visiting the dangerous planet where everything tries to kill you, but they turned it into a paradise anyway. On the Krex homeworld, young Krex had started a movement called the Human Way, focusing on innovation over tradition, creativity over conformity. Commander Drex's own daughter had announced she wanted to study on Earth. Their university accepts students based on potential, not species, she told him excitedly. They say anyone can learn anything if they're willing to work for it. The established powers watch their influence erode not through force but through something far more powerful, inspiration. In a private meeting, Ambassador Cora asked Anna, how did you plan all this? The cultural infiltration, the technological revolution, the philosophical shift? Anna laughed. Plan? Ambassador, we didn't plan any of this. Humans are just really good at making friends after we're done fighting. It's how we've always been. Yesterday's enemy is tomorrow's trading partner. It's the human way. But the speed of change, we're used to it, Anna explained. On Earth, technology doubles in capability every 2 years. Social movements reshape society every generation. We don't fear change, we surf it. As the council session ended, Chairman Zeph made a final announcement. The Galaxy Council votes to establish Earth as the neutral ground for all future diplomatic negotiations. If anyone can prevent wars, it's the species that perfected war and chose peace instead. The vote was unanimous. 6 months after they nearly conquered Earth, the galaxy had been conquered by something far more powerful than weapons: human culture, innovation, and the absurd ability to turn any catastrophe into an opportunity. The last line of the official record read, Earth status, Level 5 civilization. Approach with caution. Make friends if possible. Bring pizza.